Hello guys, welcome back to Fix It channel. Please subscribe for more videos, or if you find this helpful, and be sure to ring that bell at the bottom right corner. So we got a 2017 Chevy Cruze here. It's got 14,923 miles. I've got a problem with my radio, this display here. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what the problem is. So we start the car, regardless starting or just inside, idling or driving or not, the display starts out like that, and in about 4 to 5 seconds, you count to 5 seconds, the display goes dark black, just shuts off. It's in some kind of a loop. Does it again. I took it to the dealership, Chevy Dealer, local dealership. They told me to replace the car battery, which we did yesterday, and then they told me the problem wasn't fixed with the battery, and now that I have to replace the radio display itself now. So to show you, basically, this is the diagram, and this top circled 21 part right here, display with radio. We're gonna have to replace that one. I haven't purchased the radio itself. The dealer wants to charge me $560 for that. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the old one just to get the ID number off of it. It turns out there's 8 different variations of this. And this is a 7-inch display. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and remove the radio first. To do that, we have to remove this plastic cover piece, which is this one right here. It's this piece. Basically here it's kind of gray metallic. We're going to use this little plastic pry bar, and it's going to be a little bit hard to do with one hand. Alright, so it's got clips here, symmetrically here, top left and right, somewhere about here, left and right. So there's a couple like around here symmetrically, and then bottom parts. So a total of like 8 to 10 or so. And we're gonna just have to go one piece at a time. It's gonna be a little bit hard to do with one hand. And I'm actually dropping things now. So we'll pry this one out. Gotta be careful with these so that we don't have to replace this piece too. And at some point we should be able to just pull it out with our hand. Okay, comes right off. Now a quick note, guys, I've never replaced the radio on this Cruze, so if I make any kind of mistake, apologies in advance. Next, we're going to remove these 2 bottom 7mm, or it is 9/32 of an inch socket, bolt size. So we're going to go ahead and remove those 2. Bottom left, bottom right. I like fast forwarding through these sometimes, but then I get comments from some people that they would like to see it step by step. I think step by step is kind of nice. It gives you more options, and then you can kind of fast forward if you'd like. So next, looks like we're gonna have to remove, based on this diagram here, since this is my first time, I'm gonna have to go a little bit slow at this. Looks like we could remove this bottom piece, the controls, or these left and right, these kind of vents. So I think I'm gonna need 2 hands to pull on this thing. Let me put you to the side. Okay, so looks like this bottom controls, it's not coming out when I'm pulling it, trying to pull it out. I think it's got a couple of screws on like the bottom here, behind. So next, I'm gonna go ahead and I went ahead and tried pulling on this one. It snapped right out. So let's remove the right one. Basically, I put a finger here like this and pulled the bottom part out, and kind of wiggle it a little bit and pulled out the tough parts. So you got to be careful with these. The vent plastic piece is out. It says made in Mexico. So bottom two clips here, left and right, and top left and right. So this one's out, and now we're gonna go ahead and remove this left side as well. All right, this one's out too, and let's put that to the side. Not that we have to, but there's this fuse box behind this plastic cover. When we pull on this piece like that, it comes right out. I'm just gonna remove it for now to get better access and visuals to kind of see what is over here. And it gives you some pulling power when we're trying to pull this piece. So next looks like we may need to remove these. This is your control. Behind here there's two screws. I don't know if you can see it right there. There's the 7mm bolt, and then there's another one here. I think we're gonna have to remove those two to be able to pull this control out, this panel. Okay guys, so we removed these two 7mm bolts that were connected right here. One over here, one to the right behind this control buttons here. It was hidden behind right there and to the right. So it took me about 10 to 15 minutes. It was a bit of a struggle because it was hard to reach. I removed those two bolts, and then I just kind of, using my hands, pulled it out. Gotta be gentle. You have to be gentle and use a little bit of force, your muscles. This pulls out. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect this one here, this socket, and we'll just put it to the side, passenger seat, and kind of the display should come right out, looks like. All right, we got the display somewhat out, and it's got 5 or 6 connectors in the back, looks like. Let's remove the connections one at a time. Each socket is different, so no worries about getting them mixed up when we start installing things. Okay, so I'm gonna pry out these red little clips, just like that. Squeeze down on this little handle thing. Okay, so it's got a little bit more room. All right, so I squeezed that down, snaps right out. And it's a little bit hard to do with one hand. Just be patient here with me, please. All right, so we got 2 more. Looks like one of these is a power cord, power supply cord. Okay, this one's out. We press down on this tab, squeeze that out, and this one, which looks like this might be the power cord here. Okay, now all of this connects to one wiring harness right there. Now that we've got the display out, oh, we've got one more over here, looks like. Okay, now remember, this is for the control buttons, bottom one. This is the emergency blinking lights here. I don't know how to remove that one yet, so let's figure out. Okay, let me just look at it real quick. Okay guys, so it looks like this emergency light blinking signal, the connector, we just press down on this on the driver's side, kind of squeeze that in like that, and it pulls right out, and it's out now. So I've got the complete radio and the display in my hand right here. What I'm going to do is take this whole thing to the parts retailer and figure out which one exactly I need from among the 5 different 7-inch display options. Now I probably need these numbers to get a better visual, I might, it's either these numbers or it's probably somewhere here. There's a bunch of numbers. This is basically labeled. This plastic piece is covering that up. So what I'm going to do next is remove, we flip the display. There's 4 7mm bolts, one here to the left, top right and left, and the bottom left and bottom right. It should be real easy to remove those, so I can remove the plastic to get a better visual of those numbers right here. So with that, we'll just continue in the next video. If there's a continuation of this video, we'll do an installation on it. So far, this is just a brief on how to removing it. Please subscribe to Fix It channel. We'll see you in the next videos. Take care. Good luck. Hey guys, we're back. Basically, I picked up this replacement display with radio, and I'm gonna go ahead and install it. I put this plastic piece on the back, kind of put it together, and this is the replacement one. This is that old one. I apologize for poor lighting here, as it is evening and dark. So this replacement is working fine. It was earlier, and it was locked. I couldn't get it unlocked. I tried the fuses and all that stuff, the wires, disconnected the battery, and tried that a couple of times. I just couldn't get it unlocked. The earlier models, you would just press 1, 2, and 3, and you would get codes. But on this one, it didn't work. Chevy Dealer told me to bring it in. They charged me $160 for the job. Took them about an hour, they said, and we got it unlocked. So with this plastic piece on top, we're gonna also put this top bracket kind of mount, and it goes just like that. All right, that's in place. And on the back, it had that 4 screws, kind of reverse engineering. There's the top right, gonna tighten that, and top left, we're gonna go ahead and tighten that one as well. Oops, my lighting goes dark in here. Gotta keep that door open. Okay, bottom left tight, bottom right on the back. That is the, I think, 8mm again. No, 7mm. 7mm nut, or 9 30-seconds. And we're going to go ahead and tighten the bottom left as well. So next thing we're going to do now is reconnect all 4 wires and the 5th one for the emergency there. So this would be the emergency one. I don't know if I can get a visual there. Alright, I heard a click, and it's actually, it was pressed. Alright, so next we're gonna reconnect the remaining wires. Okay, a little bit hard to get to them. Okay, maybe I can hold it at this angle. Okay, this first one goes in, click. And the second one goes in, click. And this blue one, kind of end of USB cable looking. The other end, kind of like power cord looking. This one with the black tip. Okay, that one went in too. And we're gonna go ahead and place this display back where it was. Alright, so next we're gonna go ahead and put those, I think the next piece was this connector. Okay, it goes, basically I'm gonna have to disconnect the control, put the control buttons, run this wiring harness. Okay, let's run the wiring harness through this opening. I had it wrong before. Temporarily kind of installed. And then it would go just like right over here. Actually, alright. So we're going to install this left screw here, the nut, the 2 bolts, the left and the right here first. Tighten those and reinstall the control buttons here. Alright guys, so the display is working now. I went ahead and tightened these 2 nuts, the 7mm to the left and to the right here. So basically, next we're going to have to install this control buttons over here. Oh, why is it blinking again? Okay, never mind. So earlier in the video, I assumed that the control buttons panel, this one, was attached to these 2 bolts via these kind of pallets, these little pieces of plastic kind of mounts. But I was wrong. I wrongly assumed that they were attached because when I tried to pull this control buttons panel out, it wouldn't come out, so I didn't want to use too much force, and I didn't want to break this thing because they're plastic. They're easily we can easily break them. So basically, next would be to install these control buttons panel back in there, but it's not going to fit because these 2 panels are on our way. So when you're removing and installing them, it turns out we can actually remove these panels. Just put 3 or 4 fingers like that. Looks like 3 is pretty good. And just pull on this thing just like that. And it's got about 3 to 4 tabs. Yeah, 4 tabs kind of to keep that in place. And 2 to 3 fingers over here, right above the glove box compartment, this panel trim here. And we're going to pull that out again as well. Just like that, it comes out. So now we can go ahead and install the control buttons panel here. So next we can put 2 of these screws, the 7mm bolts, the little ones, one to the left, one to the right. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this one. Apologize for that car bing, that noise there. I would like to keep that door open to keep this light on. Or not, we could shut it. Okay, with those 2 nuts in place, next would be to put this panel back in place. If we can figure it out. I think I pulled on it a little bit too much. Okay, I'm going to have to use 2 hands for that one. But this left one here is fairly simple and easy. We just put it back in place. And give it a little push. There, it's in place. One of these tabs is out of place here. I'm going to use 2 hands to figure that out. That could be done next. So here, if I remember correct, at this point I can go ahead and reinstall that bottom cover piece for the fuse box. Okay, the lighting is really poor in here. Alright, that one's in place. So we'll go ahead and take these vents. There's one for the right side and one for the left. Okay, I think this was for the, I don't remember which one was which. Oh, Nope, this is for the right side. Alright, the right one's in place now, and we'll just put the left one in place. Alright, just like that, it goes in. Okay, just to show you the radio is working. And it is. Let's keep that music now. So we'll take this last gray chrome plated plastic cover, and as you can see, it's got a few tabs left and right, symmetric. I see 8 of them. Looks almost 10 of them. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and place it where it belongs. Yeah, nothing special to it, just place it and press it gently. Alright. Okay guys, switch that off. Basically we're all set. I'm gonna have to use 2 hands to put this one in place. We just have to make sure these tabs line up and press it down. So we're all set. So thanks for watching guys. Any questions or comments below? This is Fix It channel. Please subscribe for more videos like these. And I'm going to have a ton of videos on Chevy Cruzes and all kinds of videos. I'm going to upload them as well. Comment or comments below, or type up a question. If you got any questions, I'll answer them. I usually answer them within 2 to 3 hours. So good luck to yours, and take care.